welcome back to Foxtrot Plays Lost Evan. We're here with Doug, and gotta go conquer the world a little more. You know.
Oh, okay.
Just conquer.
We're gonna. You're gonna try getting revenge?
Yes.
Good.
Such revenge.
Good. You need to. It's good to take revenge.
It makes me feel more satisfied.
So, one thing I saw. So, like, well, I mean, okay. Here's some context, people. When Captain signed up to the Zoom meeting, right? Excuse me. I was like, oh man, Disney's in the shit. And it's true, Disney's stock is taking a huge hit. Well, I mean, it's made a little bit of a comeback, but
it's not doing its best.
No, it's not. Like, there's still rumors that Apple's gonna buy it out. Despite the fact that the new CEO of Disney said multiple times that will not happen.
I still feel like it's gonna happen.
Huh?
I still feel like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh wow, I did not know that the fox was speaking. Wait, is that a Ninetales or is that supposed to be a Ninetailed?
Well, I don't know if it's really a fox.
Oh, okay.
But yes, it's talking in the background. It does it through the whole battle.
Oh, okay.
It's telling you story and yelling at you. You know what you're thinking.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so whatchamacallit? One of the reasons why its stock is in a terrible state right now is because, like, nobody's going to Disney World. I mean, like, nobody. And, like, Nintendo stock's been skyrocketing because Nintendo World's about to open.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, no, Nintendo stock is, like, same goes with Universal. And, like, they're just all, and, like, yeah, and now, like, I saw this news story, like, Disney's telling Marvel MCU actors to be quiet about the Chinese box office and stuff like that. I'm gonna look into that. I gotta look into that.
yeah, I don't know that much about that.
God, I hate that body slap attack.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you need to stop with your dog sets.
It knows no such bad.
Right. Wait, is that supposed to be a dude? Or is that supposed to be a dude? I'm questioning the bra.
Well, I mean, it is the first one. So.
Okay. Fucking slappy attacks.
All it knew.
Is there any real way to dodge that?
Which one? I mean, if you wanted to try and be really good with it, you could try and multi-parry it.
Oh, okay. No!
Yeah, I thought it opened because it died. It was still like, no! It still exists. I don't know how it survived a divine, counter, but
yeah.
sure.
I cannot read that.
Basically, it's about me.
Captain the Godslayer, hell yeah. That is such a good title, Captain K, God, the Godslayer. Dude, don't question my sanity, but I was binge watching Berserk, the 2016 anime again. I need Berserk, and apparently season 3 is still in the works.
Yeah, I've been lurking back every so often to see if there's any other new things going on.
Yeah, I did take a stab at its updated timeline to see if the Berserk manga is still going to continue onward. So
yeah, I thought they were trying to work towards an end, supposedly.
well, oh, okay. So what I heard was because it wasn't just Mira-san who helped with Berserk. His childhood buddy was also heavily involved in the Berserk manga. It was Mira's vision, yes, but like I forgot the guy's name. But yes, he also helped. He also helped a lot with Berserk, and it's basically on him now to finish it. Yeah. They actually did come out with a statement saying, like, you know, we're sorry about, like, we're sorry, we think, no, hold on, let me rephrase that. Because, like, after news of his death, right, of Mira-san's death, it was just, like, an outpouring, like, they just received a huge influx of letters, like, saying, you know, thank you so much for giving us Berserk. And the studio was all like, we wholeheartedly thank you for all of the support we've been getting. We will continue on with Berserk, but as far as a timeline, they didn't talk about that, which is fine, you know. I mean, it's not the, you know, kind of makes sense. Why would they don't because they don't know where the hell to go other than Mira-san's old notes and shit. And for those who don't know why Berserk took so long, Mira-san was notoriously took a ton of like hiatuses on Berserk, from everything involving him having writer's block to him, and this is true. He literally took 6 months off because he said on Twitter, I'm addicted to Animal Crossing New Leaf, the 3DS Animal Crossing. I'm gonna be playing that for a while. He literally said that.
I mean, he's allowed time.
Hey man, for what it's worth, like, Berserk as a whole, it still stayed good.
Yeah. So it's like nobody's gonna be mad about it. It's fine.
Except the shareholders, but then again.
Then get over. Can they create better? No.
Can they have that kind of a rabid fan base? Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm like, when you have a fan base that is willing to wait for you, regardless of any circumstances, yeah, you just shut up and let them wait, and they'll keep loving you. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be touchy because I'm not making money. You will make it. They're not gone.
Yeah. I heard the Hunter Hunter fan base is the same thing. I don't know anything on Hunter Hunter.
Well, because same thing, yeah. Hiatuses and waiting an eternity for the story to finally get the goddamn conclusion that no one is expecting to ever happen, ever. But, well, because I mean, the way the story's structured, and then even now, there's new abilities being released. Scaling of power to people you thought were strong has changed, and now they're supposedly actually going to start properly venturing to the Dark Continent, which changes the whole power scaling they set up before. Because basically, almost everybody that we've met would probably still get their ass handed to them in the Dark Continent, including Mira.
Well, like I said, I don't know what any of its canon, any of the characters, lore, none of that.
There's not that much that's uncanon, because Hunter doesn't really have, like, filler. So, like, whatever you watch is generally happening. They don't really, for as long as it is, there isn't really a filler. At worst, there'll be the moment where they do the obvious, hey, we got a flashback and tell you what's going on. But, you know, when you're episode 102, that's unforeseeable. you may have forgotten that in those type of series, I don't have a touchiness about flashbacks. I have a touchiness when a series is like, hey, we're like 16 episodes. We're gonna use episode 7 for a flashback. Why? I remember what happened in 6 episodes. I don't. But when you're like cringing on, we have a 50 episode season, okay. You're allowed a fucking flashback episode. I'm pretty sure I forgot something.
Yeah, that's another thing that the CG Berserk anime did. It pulled I forget the actual terminology for that. I think it's sweeps episode. I could be wrong, but like they pulled that. Hey, we're gonna have a catch-up episode, despite the fact that you're only 10 episodes in. I'm like, what?
Yeah. It gets irritating when a show, you can clearly tell when the show is breaking down for TV type, because you can tell in the archetype of a certain amount of episodes hit, a certain thing will occur. There'll be a particular, like, 2-episode pause in a situation that clearly could have been solved. And then it leads up to, like, hey, I feel like there's only 13 episodes, and they still haven't even looked at the boss.
You know,
or the max villain, and you're like,
but why would you have like that episode when, first of all, even the 3 Berserk movies, they skipped over a lot of Berserk's content, like a lot of the arcs, even in the 3 movies, and they're widely, fantastic. But like,
but they even understand. They were like, and plus they know there's people that know the arc for the umpteenth time of that particular arc.
Yeah. Apparently,
if it wasn't that arc, they probably would be more detailed. But when they're like, hey, you know that Golden Age arc? We're gonna do it again. And it's like, nope. Nobody's like, oh, I forgot what happened in the Golden Age. That moment when Justin's life was almost gone. Like, so that's why every time the Berserk is talking about getting made, that's my big fear. There's gonna be like, we're gonna start from Golden Age. No, let it just be there. Continue with the stuff that's not. Because that was the big thing when it first was coming back, was everybody just kept redoing Golden Age. Like, stop redoing the one thing that didn't actually need redoing. It was fine. No one ever bitched about the Golden Age arc. No one. It is after.
Yeah.
Even when you go to the very first animation, it's the fact that you don't really get much of the Black Swordsman arc.
Yeah,
you get to be like, you get to see all of what happens. You see Guts lose his arm, and he fights like one apostle, and then you're good. And then it ends. So you're like, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much how you feel, because you've went through a whole season of hype and watched a fucking apocalypse under a black bloody sun. Like, do you really want to just be like, okay, he killed one demon, that's it, we're not gonna make any more? Like, no. Like, people are foaming at the mouth for that.
Well, I heard it was because, I heard they had to stop it because Berserk at that time was like, to have an anime on Berserk at that particular time was not only unheard of, but like, you know, to preserve the violence and, you know, what happened with Casca.
I presumed it was a lot more budget because they weren't sure if it was gonna be good. Well, and then when it did come out, it was more or less, where the second season would go. Because first season was probably an easy pitch. Second season, how you gonna pitch that? Because first season's easy. Oh, Guts struggled, there's trauma, it's gonna be some adult stuff, but we're just gonna be very light about it. Same with Griffith, everybody suffers, but you know, they're a nice, happy family together. They build up, they bond. Eventually, Guts and Casca start bonding. Everything's good, and then Griffith betrays them. Mm-hmm. Like, when you think that as a first arc, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. That's a nice cliffhanger. What's the second season? Oh yeah, Casca's basically just mind fucked after what happened. Guts is just suffering, eternal suffering, fighting demons at night just to survive, and having evil talk to him at all times. And the rest of the world is being ravaged by demons. Don't feel like you're getting that second season.
Fair enough, okay. Though, to be fair, I heard there were, like, before Minasan's death, right? Warner Brothers were actually interested in doing a fourth Berserk movie. For those who don't know, the 3 Berserk movies were all made by, I mean, yes, an anime studio, they made it, but they were all funded and published by Warner Brothers before the merger. And Warner Brothers expressed interest in wanting to do another one, but Mira-san argued that he wanted the 4th movie to be about the Skull Knight, and you'd actually know who the Skull Knight is. And
which is something I would love, because that's a character they always gloss over.
Yeah.
He's pretty integral to everything, but yeah, in story-wise, in the beginning arcs, yeah, he kind of just shows up and goes. So you don't get most of that until, like, the way later points in the story when Zod does hang around and starts talking more.
Yeah.
Because most of the time he just doesn't.
No, he just doesn't most of the time.
I mean, like, that's really it. Zod can sit there and just tell you everything. I will admit, that is good design in a way. Because technically, if this had been any other kind of writing, Zod would have expositioned the story to you and then just tried to kill you, and then they would have just killed off Zod and then said, okay, now you know the plot. But instead, it's like, no, Zod fights you, and he's gonna kick your ass, but he has to leave for reasons. And and then he does that a few times, and you get little hints, and then finally, when he's there to stay, he's like, oh, I guess I should tell you the story since I'm here. Because that's kind of how it turns out. You don't really get a full grasp of things until everything has finally come to, like, the final pieces, and then everybody's like, so I should tell you what's going on, even though you can't really do much about it, because I'm telling you now.
Yeah, no, I'm like all for that. Like, I'm all for that kind of storytelling. That's one of the, because like that's how I both love and hate Hellpoint for doing that kind of thing. Because like, well, with Hellpoint, it's not an apples to apples comparison. Because Hellpoint, it still doesn't give you a clear answer. It's still up to you to figure out, to basically try to come up with, okay, maybe this happened.
Yeah, like I mean. And with it, it works in an interesting fashion because of the whole, you know, alternate dimension. Where you're like, okay, this happened, but am I in the dimension where this happened? Because I might be in the other dimension. So even if you know it happened, it may not have happened the same way where you're at.
Yeah, dude.
Well, for Hellpoint first. Because, like, as you go further in the plot, you're like, this main event happened that caused it. But in other realms, other stuff happened because you run into different ones who are like, no, this is what's going on here. So,
okay.
It leaves you, it lets you know what the story did, but it leaves you to speculation of, well, what's happening everywhere else that isn't with me? Because there's still other me's running around doing stuff too.
Yeah. Oh man, the parry system. That's like, I think I brought that up. Like, it's like Beautiful Joe's Umeki thing, where you have to hit it, where you have to hit the button on a specific frame of animation.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
and
I hate that.
It's normally not terrible in the sense of like close range. This is just me being difficult because there's a particular quest I had to make sure I deflected attacks, and the archer just happened to be. So. It'd be easier with a sword-wielding enemy because I could just deflect all day, but as you can see, he wants to be like, I don't know what to do. You're looking at me. I only know how to shoot when you're not looking at me.
I just hate when they're doing that, like, while you're in the air, because they're like, ooh, free hit.
Well, technically, no, I could parry it in the air.
Oh,
it's just tricky. Because it's that same thing of timing, but I'm also in motion, so where the arrow lands may not necessarily be where I'm trying to go. Yeah. I'll be like, parry, and then it'll be like, no, that counts as toe damage. Where your sword is not. So I've noticed that even though it's a good parry system, when you get in the air, the parry is subjective because it depends where the attack is technically hit.
So it's kind of like the RE3
hitbox.
makes stupid dodge mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you've seen how the dodge in this game works technically anyway, so I have a ridiculous loop of dodge. So. If I really want to get out of most situations, I can. But.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know how to feel about the RE4 make. I'm still like iffy because while Capcom has announced it and I think they showed one of the remade environments from RE4. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up because they were saying like, oh, we're gonna make it ultra serious. And I'm like, dude, what?
I don't understand why it needs to be remade when it is literally the one that triggered all the other remakes. 4 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then before 5 was fully out, 0 was floating in. And then that's about the time that GameCube was like, hey, we're gonna do 0, and then we're gonna remake all of them up to 4. Then they continued with 5, 6, 7, went back, remade 1, 2, and 3. And then you're continuing forward. So why do you need to remake 4 when 4 is the whole reason everything got remade in the first place?
Your guess is as good as mine, dude.
I'm like, leave 4 alone as it is. You can't milk it more. Like, everybody's okay with how Leon is. You don't need Leon to suddenly be the amazing badass. And if you camp him up anymore, it's gonna be dumb. But Ada can only tolerate him so much.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. Yeah, Tyler's all like, dude, where's my invite? I'm like, oh god, it's 2 already?
Yes. Yes, it is. 203.
Yeah, I'm basically saying me and Captain are still recording. Like I told me and you were still recording. Like after this video, we have to like we'll slap lounge and shit.
Cool.
Yeah. But where the hell? Like, okay, so Yahtzee Crow Shop, 0 punctuation. Oh, really? Bubbles attack. What are you, Sailor Venus? Anyway,
That's Mercury. Don't get my girl confused.
sorry.
Mercury's my choice. You're mixing them bubbles up.
Jesus, he's thinking we're slab lounging right now. Jesus!
I'm assuming he has like some time schedule set on his thing, probably. That he's
No, it's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah, he I don't know, I guess he's just being he was just being presumptuous. I mean, like, I'll let it slide, because, like, you know, maybe he's like me in that we had trust issues. Yeah. So, like, anyway, Ben Yahtzee Croshaw said it best on 0 punctuation. He's all like, where do you go after the RE4 make? What, you want to remake 5 or 6? And I'm just all like, you know what, that's actually... Yeah.
When you remake 4, the only next step is 5. Well, why would you need to remake 5? Are you going to remake Chronicles? Are you going to go dig in the bowels of RE and be like RE Survivor and be like, yeah, we're going to refresh that?
Like,
there's no need for it.
I'm okay with remakes and, like, for instance, if if Capcom says, you know what, we're gonna remake Dead Rising, I'd be okay with it. Like, because Dead Rising
Yeah.
Because the first Dead Rising came out, what, 2004 or 5? It was a launch title for the 360, so...
Yeah, I want to say somewhere around 5.
Yeah.
2005.
So it's nearly 20 years old. So that's remakeable. I'm fine with that. Besides, because like Dead Rising 1, as it stands, like, to me, the first Dead Rising game is still the best one. Like, yes, 2 had combo weapons, but like 2 was when it was trying to be taken seriously, I guess. And,
well, two makes sense in its balance, because... Well, I mean, 2's remake, I'll admit that. Because even under its premise, it would make sense. Because if you followed Leon should have been a little bummed. Because it's, you know, first day on the job.
No. I'm not talking about Resident Evil. I'm talking about Dead Rising.
Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dead Rising 1, that's still hands down my favorite Dead Rising. Resident Evil, my favorite hands down is 4, just because of how stupid it is.
I have a particular love for 3 when it came out, but that's because, you know, they finally gave the damn dodge mechanic at that time, and there hadn't been.
I remember 3 having that stupid choose-your-own-adventure plot that the 3 make straight up took out.
Yeah. But nevertheless, that was my one.
Yeah. But anyway, I was okay with Dead Rising 2, but like I was happier when they brought Frank West back because I actually did like taking pictures because it was kind of fun. Yeah, because the amount of shit that you can manipulate from like frying a zombie's face with a frying pan. But the thing is that Dead Rising 2 is when it really started to try to take itself seriously. I'm like, why? And then Dead Rising.
Be like, we have plot. We have story.
And then Dead Rising 3 came out, and that was a shit show and a half. Because you had that flower-faced child that was all like, "Oh, I'm so innocent, young, and I really like Chuck's daughter."
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dead Rising 4. Oh god, I didn't even bother playing that. The only thing I really hated about Dead Rising as a whole was here's what I hated about Dead Rising. I would tolerate the escorting side quests because the safe room started roaring to life, which is fine. I was like, cool, and that means you get more survivors out after the 3 days. Awesome. But then, for some fucking reason, Inafune-san, and this goes to show like why this man, I want to choke this man. He's all like, hey, you know all that hard work? Yeah, let's make it all for nothing. And like have all the survivors just basically out the fuck. So out of nowhere, Otis leaves you a note saying, hey, I found a van, we're leaving. And like in the second one, I think it was, even Robert's chiming in.
Everyone's like, right now. Right this minute.
How much longer is this video?
I mean, considering each one's only 30 minutes. Yeah.
Because it's like 3 minutes left.
Yeah. Don't touch.
Okay. I mean,
any other time, we're waiting for that.
Yeah. There. And man, I'll eat this. Because like it's on me that this happened, so I'll have to eat it. I'm not gonna make any excuses. Because like I thought because the teaching bit canceled and yeah. So
your schedule planning shifted.
Yeah, my plans got a wrench thrown in those gears, so I gotta eat this. I'll handle it. That's another thing. Like I have so many at the Goodwill job for some reason. So many people think of me as the manager because I'm like, oh no, this is my responsibility. I'll eat it. It's like, oh, you are the manager. I'm like, no, I'm not. Why do you have that for?
Oh, you're the one in charge, huh?
Yeah, because like I'm usually the guy that says I'll eat it and stuff like that, and the guy who takes responsibility.
And they're like, nope, you are now supervised.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I just work. Look, would a guy who works here willingly forget the fact that he has willingly forget his badge and bring his teaching badge instead?
True.
Yeah. So, Fuck. Yeah, at least Robert's not taking offense like Tyler did. But then again, I'm pretty sure Tyler was just being presumptuous. Like, oh, leaving me out of this situation. Like, no, we're not doing that, man.
I mean, why would we have started it without messaging him? When any other time we normally message him?
Yeah, no, I do that all like. But like, they have reasons to jump down my throat because like it's late. Like, oh, Doug, you're always, like, punctual at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll eat this. It's my fault.
No.
Because, like, you can blame the Chinese outfit, but, like, it's still on me. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try and make excuses. What, you can't eat? You can't, drink anything?
Well, not at the moment, I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have any?
Yeah, there's zeros down there. So it's me fleeing for my life.
Wow.
Which obviously didn't work.
When running doesn't work. Oh wait, no, you're not running, you're swimming. When swimming doesn't work.
So we'll just have to come back for me to go retrieve those souls later. Like you do.
Yeah. Oh, okay.